Hey guys, gonna get ready to do another video here. This video we're gonna be attacking the Golem. Just wanted to start out, I've got the Golem event opened up here and we can look at the damage rankings and the ranking rewards. First area I wanted to look at is the ranking rewards. So for rank 1 you're gonna get 50 times 100,000 Lord experience. I pretty much fall in this category every time, 21 to 50. If I build out to do maximum amount of damage, I'm usually like top like 24 to 27, somewhere in that ranking. I don't need to really do more damage. It's not going to benefit me any to get, rank 21 versus rank 25. I don't have quite enough damage yet to be able to get into the top 20, so I'm not even going to build a build for that. The reason why is you also get, based on how much damage you do per hit, you get a certain amount of, or per attack, you get a certain amount of Lord experience. So let's just jump, let's go over to right here. This is where a lot of the damage is going to come from again. It's a common theme, back to the dragon. We go to assign skills here. We're looking at monster. So we want to make sure that we've got our attack is where all of the damage is going to come from when it comes to the golem. So we want to make sure that this particular emblem, that it's on a skill that is 15 or higher. That way you get full damage from both infantry attack and bowman. Also, this one here is another attack emblem. Again, it's getting full benefit of all levels because it's assigned to a skill that's ranked 15 or higher. There's two more areas where additional attack power comes from, and that's this one here. You want the troop attack to be at least level, at level 5 it gets the 5% bonus there, and so this one's level 6, so that qualifies. Again, this one over here, troop attack, again 5%. It's also getting these additional benefits from defense and health. Those won't help your damage on the Golem at all, but it doesn't hurt anything to have them. So we are getting the max amount of damage with this particular setup on the monster tab. So you just want to double check that you've got these three emblems are getting the max boost from attack. In this scenario we are. So let's go back to, this is the other area where you're damaged. These two skills right here. So Cavalry Rage, which is your cavalry attack. So I've got that at 95% right now. I've got Bowman at 95%. If you did have extra to go ahead and upgrade one more time, I don't, but you would want to do, so if I had 565,000, I've got about half that right now. I could reset one of these other skills to get that. I'm probably not going to do that, and after I'm done I'm probably going to reset this one just so I can get these points back, so I can get these skills all back to level 15. I was just in here playing around earlier, but I'm going to leave it right where it's at for right now. I got 19 and 19 here. This is going to be a sufficient amount of damage to be able to get, I don't want to say the maximum, but about the most amount of Lord experience that I'm going to be able to get out of Attack of the Golem. So let's go into it. The other area where damage is going to come from is from the troop types that you send. So we'll go over that real quick. I have a build that's already pre-assigned that I've customized, but I'll just show you how changing. So let's just do attack. Let's jump right in here. This is my build for damage. This is not a defensive build because it has a very minimal amount of infantry, a high amount of bowmen, and not so much on the cavalry. What we want to do before we go into this is apply a couple boosts. Let me actually just show you guys the difference between having boosts and not. I'll show a couple different differences just so we can see how the damage changes by just making a few changes. So let's just go with this default build here. As you can see, we've got troops in every category and tier except for what I like to call the non-attacking type siege. And I don't even think I have any siege at all in this. But I've got a little bit of everything else. As you can see, all the way down, you know, to tier 6. So we start from tier 8 and tier 6 cavalry. I still have 3,800. We don't have any bowmen here. We would want to have some bowmen here. That'll increase the damage. So let's go ahead and let's do an attack like this, just so we can see, and then we can come in here and put some in these additional categories, and we'll see that the damage will change slightly just by having even just a few hundred in each of these all the way down. So let's try it just like this. Let's march. And I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, as long as I'm getting the 890 Lord experience, that should be good. While that attack is going, let's just come back over here. We'll go back to the event center. We'll take a look at the damage rankings. So Guardian is doing 10,000 for all 10 of his attacks. So he's doing about 1 million per attack. To be in the top 10, you're going to need to do, it looks like, at least 400 and, you know, let's just say 422,000 per attack just to get into the top 10. So that's a pretty significant amount of damage. The attacks will show up here under war. So we take a look and see how much this one was. So that's not bad for a non-optimized march and with no boosts. And you see, that's all you got to do to get the 890. So, you know, it's just a basic march without doing a whole lot on you know, optimizing it. You can hit 140,000, and honestly, I think it's lower than that even to still get the 890. So that's why I don't really worry about doing. I am not a battle spec on Lord. I have just basic armor, or as you can see, guys, I don't have anything fancy. I've got purple pieces of armor here and still orange. The reason why I still have purple, you know, a lot of people think, well, it's stupid, why don't you have orange? I don't have enough to actually enhance these to get the additional resonance bonus. But right now, everything's enhanced to, let me just show you real quick on the armor. We go to enhance right here. We've got the set resonance bonus, 50%. Because every piece, it doesn't have to be the same piece. It can be a purple piece, but mixed with an orange piece, as you see I've got. I am qualifying with this mixed set to get that 50% boost. I've got, I think, just one more piece that I need to get of orange to be able to enhance it up, and then I can do all orange and still get the resonance bonus. So with basic armor, you know, we're able to do that damage. You know, we do have gems in every slot. I do have a basic soul gem here, which I'll show you guys how to get those in another video if you haven't already got those, and how to enhance it up. And then I've got some Valor gems here in the other slots. So, nothing too terribly special though to be able to do the minimum amount of damage to get the 890 890 times 500 forward experience. So we'll just go ahead and collect those, and then we'll just click right here as a shortcut to go ahead and do another attack. Before we do that, let's go over here and let's apply some boosts. So we'll scroll down. No need to use this. I'm going to save that for something that actually matters. That's a 25% boost. I think these cost 400 gold, so that'd be a waste. These are 20,000 honor. I just get them from the Alliance store. Just apply that. It's a 10% boost to attack. And here we got a march capacity boost. We'll use that. Now we'll come over here, we'll do another attack. Do this build here. Let's see if this is a little bit more optimized. We want to see something in every category except siege. and that is looking a little bit better. We're still missing these bottom categories because we're at a max. I think I built this build out with 180,000 troop march. Once I put all the buffs on, I can march a little over 180,000. But let's go ahead and march it just like that, and then we'll come in next one, and we'll come in and we'll add these other categories and see if there's a difference in damage. So we did 140,000 last time without really any optimizations, or not too many, minimal optimization on the troop march. Now while that's doing that, here's something that'll make it easy to, so you don't have to constantly be changing. Oops, wrong one. I'm gonna click right here. That's the parade ground is what I was clicking on there. My saved march is under the number 2. And right now that one actually has no infantry. So I want to see, we're gonna have to decrease here to get some room to play with. So let's move that down. Let's decrease this a little bit. So this particular saved march actually does have something in every category except infantry. Oh, there's a few infantry right here. Let's see if there's any. There's a few here, 459. Okay, we got a few troops left to assign, so we only have 133 out of 147, so let's try about that. I mean, just a minimal amount of infantry, we don't need too many. Probably more closer to 1,000 right there for the next tier down. And honestly, we'd probably want the rest in Bowman right here. Let's try that like that. We'll save it. Hopefully it'll use the same one that we saved. Now let's take a look at our last attack. So we did 173,000. Notice here, we jumped up a 33,000 of damage. No increase here to the Lord experience. Still 890 by 500. So that's a pretty big bracket right there. I think it goes all the way down into like the 120s area. And if anybody knows, you know, just post where the next jump up is. And the next drop down is really not a big of a drop. It's like 880 and then it goes to 870. So really the damage increases here. It's not worth spending gold on to go ahead and put all, you know, maximum amount of boosts on, because you're not getting any additional benefit. So let's collect. But the point of this video is to kind of show or highlight differences in damage that you can make by just configuring the march. So I'm going to do one more. Let's click number 2 here. This is the one that we just saved. Seems like it was optimized a little bit more. We got a little bit of infantry. We got pretty much a little bit of everything all the way down. You know, a few thousand troops in most categories, and then as we get lower, we got, you know, 1,500 to 2,000, and maybe around 500 for the lower categories. So let's go ahead and march that. We'll see if there's any differences in damage. And then we'll play with maybe taking away infantry completely and seeing if the damage goes up or down or what the effects are of that. And while that's doing that, I'm going to get another shot of vodka. I bought this Kettle One vodka. It's made for kind of like a mojito mix. It's like a cucumber mint flavor. I would recommend it made in a mojito. Alright, so that march has hit. Let's take a look if there's any changes in damage. 196,000. Okay. And what changes did we make to do that? All the buffs were the same, all the skills were the same. The only difference was changing the mix of troops. We went from 173 up to 196. Now keep in mind, I forgot to finish. The reason why I went over here, we were looking at talents, and we got sidetracked on the armor. The talent points, 240 in economy. So, you know, it's a myth that you have to have a war build in order to be able to do a lot of damage. We're doing almost 200,000 per hit and a pure economy build. Now, if we were to go war, we would probably get into the mid 250s as far as damage. It would increase a little bit, but not a dramatic increase. Most of the damage is coming from the dragon and the dragon skills and how you have them assigned. It doesn't come from the Lord talents. So you can keep your Lord talents at economy for almost everything and still do a lot of damage. I do the portal in an economy build, and I'm usually in the top 3 or so in damage of the portal when I can make it. I've been working over 60 hours this week, so I've been missing every portal rally. Let's go ahead now. Let's do another attack. Let's make some slight changes. Let's take infantry out completely. Because you'll hear a lot of people will say, don't send any infantry. And that could be right. Or maybe it's not. We'll find out. So let's add it to what, Bowman does typically our most damage, so let's increase the Bowman categories with these few troops that we had. Let's add, let's see, so that's 16,400. Let's try to get this to, we'll add about 800 there. Let's add another 1,000 here. So it's 53,000, so we'll go 54,000. Let's add a few more to the cavalry here. 20,000. We'll add some to here. Okay, so we kind of just took all the infantry away and just added them mostly to bowmen and a little bit to the cavalry to the higher tiers. Let's march that and see what happens. I will tell you, originally when I had infantry in the mix, the damage did actually go up a little bit. It's been a while since I've tested it, so let's find out if there's any changes. But the last time that I did that, I did have a Lord talent build of war, and I did have talent points in the infantry attack. So while that's doing that, let's go over the Lord talent build, how you build it. If you're not able to get into the hundreds, the 120s for damage, and you do need your Lord talents to get that little bit of extra boost, to get the maximum amount of Lord experience out of each attack, I'll just go over a quick walkthrough of the way to optimize a Lord talent build for damage on the Golem. So just think about it, you want everything attack. Any attack option that you have, even infantry, is going to help. So obviously you have to start here and then just move through this category. Right here is where you make a couple changes. You want to max this out, you want to max this out, and then what I would do is I just go straight through cavalry, right on through, grab your march capacity, I grab the infantry attack, then I split back this way. And you can either go this way or this way to complete it out, it doesn't matter. Colossal March, but the important thing is you want to grab this infantry attack. You want to max that out. Max the bowman attack out. Siege attack's not going to matter. You're not going to be bringing siege at all. If somebody wants to play with a build that has, you know, siege attack damage, you know, in the dragon talents and this maxed out, see if you get any additional boosts from it. It'd be interesting to see. It might be. Come along, cross bowman, max out your march capacity. I've got enough talent points to go clear to the end. Do infantry attack here again, of course. Here, doesn't matter for the purposes of this. I usually just do health anyways. I feel like there's more benefit out of the health in general. Do cavalry attack here. Come right along, whatever way you want to go. Doesn't make a difference what decision you make here. You have to grab this. Grab bowman attack. You have to grab. No difference here. What you grab right here. Grab march capacity. It's a have to. Keep going right on through. You have to grab the siege attack there. Doesn't matter which way you go here. And grab this. These two do not matter. They won't make a difference in your damage. And that's it. So let's take a look at what happened. Be interesting to see. 195,840. Is that more than the last attack or less? No, it's less. So we dropped damage by taking infantry out of the build, even though we tried to assign the troops fairly mixed across, you know, bowmen and cavalry. Our damage actually decreased. So you do get an additional boost by having a small amount of infantry mixed in your build, which is the pre-configured build that I have here. This is probably a pretty optimal build. If you guys wanted to take a look and copy something similar to these numbers, it's quite a dramatic increase here that I noticed from bowmen to cavalry. So let's try making this a little bit closer of a ratio here. Let's increase the cavalry a little bit more and see if it makes a difference in damage. So there we've increased the cavalry, we decreased the bowmen a little bit. Let's just make that one change right there and see what happens to the damage. Another thing on drinks, I went to the liquor store and had actually a really knowledgeable salesman there help me with some of the stuff we were trying to get. We were trying to get some sort of a coconut rum to make, you know, some coconut flavored drinks. And he ended up recommending this one called Rum Haven, and it's made with coconut water. It's actually incredible rum, better than the other, you know, Parrot Bays and, you know, Captain Morgan's I think makes one, or whoever else makes the coconut flavored rums. This one was very good. Alright, let's see what happened to damage on that hit. The only change we made on that one is increasing the ratio of cavalry compared to bowmen. Look at that. That's a drop in damage, 194,000 versus the one that was optimized with a heavy, extreme amount of bowmen. So you guys will probably want to copy that same ratio. Obviously the numbers won't be the same exactly depending on how many troops you have, but let's take a look at that once again. And we'll probably end the video right here. No need to see the rest of the attacks. Look at that. We got 53,000 of our top tier of bowmen compared to 18,000 of cavalry. And I wonder, can we go even less and get even more damage? There'll be a point where you do need to have a certain amount of that tier to get some to get the damage from it. So let's see, 57,000. Let's go like closer to 55,000, and we'll put the rest down here in this building. Okay, let's march that and see what happens. So again, I'll just go over back while the march is going, go back to the dragon skills, just highlight where our damage is coming from. It's coming from bowman damage here and the cavalry damage here. Those are the areas that are measured for damage. None of these other categories will contribute to the damage. Almost. Here's how they actually help. When you go to assign skills under monster, those other skills need to be, if they're in a category where there's an emblem that does attack, like this emblem right here, I have this skill, this cavalry attack. So that one actually is fine because you're going to have that one maxed out, you know, or up as high as you can get it as well. But look at this skill here is my march. Oh, that is the only other skill that will impact the amount of damage, obviously, is the amount of troops that you're marching. So you do want to have that up, you know, significantly high. But because this is up above 15, I'm getting the full benefit of 42% infantry attack, cavalry attack, and bowman attack. Now the other two skills that matter is this one right here has a troop attack on it. That will increase the damage, and so will this one here. So you want those to be at least level 5 to be able to get the benefit of those. So you need at least 4 skills. 1, 2, 3, 4. The rest of these don't matter. This health doesn't matter. This defense does not matter. This infantry health doesn't matter, and this one is defense doesn't matter. Alright, let's take a look and see what happened. Look at that. By going even more extreme on the amount of bowmen that you bring, damage goes up to 197,000 versus we had our optimized march here. Where was it at? I think it was 196. It was this one here. 196,000. So a small increase by going even more extreme on the amount of bowmen versus cavalry. So playing with that ratio, it looks like you get rewarded for having a very high amount of bowmen versus cavalry. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. I'm still going to do another video on the Dragon Spirit. And I don't know, I'll probably release them both here at the same time. They take about an hour to upload each video, so